going to be game number 37, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much already for tuning into PEL, because it's time to start those games and get them going. The plane's about to descend as we get our games underway. And once again, we're going over to our dastardly duo of Pansy and Demon for all of the action for game 37.
We kept you waiting there, didn't we? Here we go. It is
James's
time
voiceovers.
to go again. It was fabulous. It was fabulous.
Beautiful.
But yeah.
One, I see a change up on the drops. I see Reciprocity up north. We'll get to that. I do want to say hello to Twitch chat, 'cause they're being very nice there. They're all excited for the game. Yeah, they're like,
well, that's good.
It's
I mean, we're back. We're back. We actually had some really good games last week. So hoping we can continue with that. We'll see whether we get some fancy circles or not. As you can see, the playing path slightly off center. It's not too bad. I think everyone, even if you go down Lost Leonis, should be safe. Maybe one change would be Reciprocity, because obviously Impala would have been a tricky drop for them, so they've gone up to the north of Torre Armada.
Which is a nice idea, considering they know that Winstrike will occasionally venture that way if playing path allows for it, if it kind of completely goes away from the potential of Pozo. So this is a really good read from them, and they haven't even had to go that far either.
G2's long drop, obviously looking for vehicles, may slightly stumble into TSM. That's probably the only thing I can think of here, really. Same with ENCE, maybe bumping into sort of Senpai and Kemba. I can see they've got themselves a vehicle already. And I can see shots already going off from there. It is a south circle, so it's down Los Leonis way, obviously wedged in between Los Leonis and Commissara. Expected to be pretty much where Tab is the central spot.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyone who did miss what happened with Razor Edge's player, Chris, you know, having to go get a little checkup as to what went wrong, clearly dehydrated, and the desk broke down beautifully how you must stay hydrated.
There is a reason that little hydration bot comes into Twitch chat and annoys everyone with its spam.
I leave it on, it reminds me. I need to drink more water.
Time to drink. You've been going for 3 hours now. It's time to take a break. Have a drink.
But beyond that, it's a bit of a shame, because Razor Edge were starting to come in their own. I'm not saying that Frolic is a bad player by any margin. Very good, but obviously not in the active roster here. Not going to be quite up to the same sort of standard we're seeing currently.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's given the benefit of the doubt, man. He's coming into this, you know, ex-Cloud9 player and all. He's been around. You know, he has played at the top tournament, so he's certainly got it about him.
He's definitely. Look,
I wonder how practiced he is.
That's the thing. It's the mechanical ability. I don't know if it's going to be as stellar as what you'd expect from, let's say, Chris, who he's currently standing in. So
look, we know you like Chris, okay.
He's in hospital.
I know,
poor
he is, bless him. I wonder if he's even allowed to watch. If he's going to the tests and stuff, he's probably like, ooh, poor guy.
Let's hope his roaming day is good enough to watch, because that hospital Wi-Fi, trust me, it ain't great. And I've seen an issue with Hexetti here. He's knocked himself out, and he's actually quite far away from the others. So that's going to screw up one of the others' loot routes.
Someone's going to have to get out and get him fast, because he is quite away from him. So that's obviously a bike. Ooh, there's a Murado. So.
I think it was a bike. I don't know how he would have managed that.
Where is the offending item?
It'll be around.
It's around
flown off
here somewhere. No, it must be that Murado. Unless he bailed out of Murado too much. No,
I don't know what he's done. He's had a moment.
He's had a moment.
But I do want to talk about G2, because you said there could have been an initial issue with that TSM crossing over each other, and I have to highlight how good Chris is. Now, we saw him on that kills area right now.
Who did ditch the Chevy Blazer for a Murado? And the 4x4 went for the Murado.
Fair enough. Maybe just like style. I want to highlight how good Chris is recently. I don't know. Scoom's almost done it as well. He's got that. They've made a Hexetti. But no, the point I want to talk about with Chris is his overall stats. Now, we saw him on the couch with Dave there earlier just because of the kills. But if you do want to check this out, obviously it's up on the website. But his damage, he is, again, within the top 4 players. His knocks, he's in with the top 4 players. Like, every single stat you can pull about individuals, as much as they can be irrelevant, he is hitting the box in every single category. Currently, I would say Chris is the player to look out for. He is the damage dealer throughout all of this. Now, beyond that, we are seeing... No, not that Chris, the other Chris, G2 Chris.
It's Chris, yeah.
Yeah. The sleeping giant. If he's napped, you know he's on point. So the point is that this guy is an absolute animal to play, to look at what he's been doing. And, you know, G2 on their own have been absolutely bloodthirsty. Just in week 3, they had 61 kills, in comparison to FaZe, who are currently in first with only 48. They're very good.
You know, when you think of teams that, you know, when they get that central point, right, they kind of just sit there passively and don't really pick much up. When they get that central point, they will get kills. They'll be hunting for their kills. And now they've been spread out from the compound maybe just to go and make sure they can confirm. It doesn't always work out, but when it does, it is big. Ibi is about to press set. Yeah, he's trying to back away from this straight away. Yeah,
you don't get away with it at this point. It looks like Set was trying to be a bit greedy, but the rest of CrowCrowd are still in Los Leones, and he does have someone split not too far off. That'll be Tab quite nearby. Set's been wooded away. That's done for. This is going to be Liquids for now. They've centralized very early on. And I think the other unsung hero of this as well, who's not on the kills as such, but if you look at damage and knocks, that would be Gustav, another big player you have to not underestimate. Well,
I mean, the solo play he had last week against NIP alone was massive. I mean, he got his team, literally got his team 9 points when they had nothing from that game. All the 9 points came from Gustav in that game. So they could certainly count. Obviously, TSM being a top 5 team at the moment. 40, I believe 40 points ahead of NIP, just behind them. Who, by the way, NIP on your screens here, have finally got themselves a gaming house, an apartment set up here. They're no longer living the hotel life that us poor casters have to survive through.
Oh yeah, what a hard life we have.
I know, right? It's a really tough time.
No, guys in chat with your normal jobs, please feel sympathy for us.
We pull up into our 4-star hotels, really struggling.
It's 3.5, all right?
Is it 3.5?
I don't know why it's. I've never seen a 3.5 star hotel.
Yeah, the half-star. I'm not really sure.
What's happened there?
Must be maybe that little dribbling rain shower you've got that's not working out.
It's devastating.
But yeah, NIP, they finally got the gaming house. So, you know, we were talking about obviously this, how a lot of the teams are settled and were settled now. This will be maybe a big point for them to settle down.
That's a big pickup as well.
Gaxi down. I think he should be safe. Yeah, the Miracu's right behind.
You can crawl over the hillside, but this is not the time you want to be losing out on players because Vitality have a 2-2 split. So it is safe because this little like kind of dip that they've got there to work with, but there could have been pressure and now it comes in. Yes, this is the other side of the pressure. NIP not in a good spot here. Miracu could be going down as well. That's that 2-2 I was talking about. Shadow continues to pepper MBS this time.
Yeah, and that's Gaxi gone. Jazza will, or Jazza or Kramer is going to finish him off there. You can see he's bleeding out. So Miracu's going to have to back away from that one. No longer a safe res, but they are going to turn the pressure back on him. Nasus is gone. Vardkun turns it straight onto him. Jazza, though, tries to get the knock on Miracu again. Forces him down. MBS went for the peak as well. Shadow's trying to move in. Look at Kramer gone low. He's trying to get himself confirmed the kills. At the moment, it's going to be a 1-for-1, but the nades are coming out.
Yeah, that's that final bleed out on Gaxi, but Vitality, I felt that was a little bit reckless from them to push up like that so hap-handedly when there's always going to be some sort of bite back. You're not going to get away with it for free. Everyone has to get back in that mentality of this isn't just your normal, you know, face it games where you're queuing into other good players or you're just your public games with your mates. This is, you know, the pro league. This is everyone's going to punish that sort of play.
Yeah, you can't tend to get away with it. TSM rolling up on the other side of Kumasera there, I believe. Sorry, around Los Leones, in fact. So it's this is an interesting one because obviously a big chunk of Los Leones is sort of close to central point. So I wonder if TSM, they might go on the edge here. Unity have done the same.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
I'm talking edge of Los Leones, sorry, not the circle.
No, I actually quite like where Unity currently are and CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd to a lesser extent, but I actually don't mind those positions. That trash loot around the side skirt of Leones is actually very viable, even in public games, which is obviously not on the pro settings. Now, I keep looking at the north here because as much as NIP and Vitality were kind of scrapping a little bit, Raise Your Edge have just turned up as well. So there's another team here with potential eyes on that hillside that NIP currently reside in. Again, you see those shots now starting to come through.
Yeah, and this is all just outside of Picardo. It's so far away from the center point. It's crazy that they're fighting here.
I mean, if you take into account the water in the south, it probably will move a little north eventually, but still, as you said, it's a big commitment.
It could be a big yoink south. That little island's still there. There's always hope, Lauren. There's always hope that maybe we're going to go down that way. Reciprocity and G2 making their way down the east and edge of the circle. That was a nice little shot from Miracu there, catching Jazza, forcing him just about to get inside safely. So the circle, where's it going to shift to? It's going to go up Kumasera away, so it has paid off for them. They're going to get straight in there. Look at that. Vitality have got Shadow, already made that move and got himself a really nice compound early on.
DA as well, good positioning in this. They're going to be happy with that one. Probably going to join up with the other two. Then again, we know that they're not opposed to just sending it central, and they do have their full roster this week, which is very good for them. Team Liquid on the way as well. Let's see how Team Liquid get on, because they're going to want slap bang in the middle of this. I don't know how much vision Knights or DA is going to have on this, but it looks like Team Liquid are rocking up right towards where DA currently are. I don't know if they're going to try and push for this, drive up to it, or what the case is going to be.
Well, Iro took shots at them as they passed on by, so they're well aware of his position up there. So we'll see whether they try and get aggressive on it. So as you say, DA is 2-2. He's kind of cut them in half at the moment. GemT, you can see, getting a high vantage point there. Doesn't see Sixmo and Mert down low, though. Meanwhile, Vitality are going to regroup. They're going to get everybody into the same compound their shadow is. They are taking fire from up on high. Where the Knights are, that's a really high pivotal point. They can look down from Commissar. It's the edge of Commissar around the... I don't know what you call them, those big tanks that are up there. Either way. Gas tanks? Are they gas tanks? Water tanks? I don't know what they are up there, but there's some bloody big tanks on the edge of Commissar.
Yeah, no idea. Don't know. Chat, help us make up a name.
Yeah.
In Commissar, what do you want us to call them? This is your chance.
This is your
This
moment.
is your chance. Give us some feedback. It'll only be good. I can only imagine they'll give us really good feedback.
Yes.
Very descriptive, accurate words, no trolling, no memes. Looking at this, though, TSM working their way through Leones. They're one of the last teams coming across from that side in the south. You've still got G2 and Reciprocity coming in. And then everyone else is actually in at this point. So that's what's going to be happening. Great. I'm looking at chat. None of... Silo. I like Silo.
Silo's
good.
Silo works. Yep.
Good job.
We're assuming it's got grain in it and not gas or water.
See, we've had lovely tanks. Not happening. And the other one... No, I can't say the other ones.
Yeah, there's a few that you can probably say. Actually, to be fair, they're kind of silos. They're silos.
We go for silos. Doesn't
they're
matter.
concrete. That's concrete.
We're not being that specific.
That's too
Everything's a
far away in
silo.
Los Leones, though. It's the Knights I'd like to see, really, what we can confirm. But Senpai's got TSM spotted on the edge of Los Leones. Who's that getting some airtime?
Mid-air.
Sigsy catching MBS out, and he's gone.
That was beautiful.
So that's 2 down for NIP, by the way. So they're
He
now
on X Games mode. Just mid-air.
going off the Whistler, trying
Yeah.
to do get some airtime.
But honestly, this isn't bad for Razor Edge, considering they've got really nice placement currently. Obviously, the circle can shift and completely screw them, but they're in good company. And Na'Vi, similar positioning. Again, shout out to the damage to Pokemolodoy and Aduzi. These two have been putting up big numbers for Na'Vi. Consistent damage throughout, constantly taking these shots. Because you're seeing it right now, Aduzi on the map. This guy's just popping off shots towards Unity, keeping people very, very humbled. And there's MBS.
Oh, he caught the tree.
He is on X Games mode. Look at that.
It literally
Beautiful.
caught the tree and launched him in the air. It's a little unlucky. All right. Mert is looking like he's down, or Sixmo is down. One or the other is getting revived down there. Is M19 making a move on this? D-Mash? D-Mash? Is he actually trying to make a move on it? Reciprocity and G2 trading blows down the south there. Reciprocity looked to be on the tail end of it. FaZe and Winstrike trading a couple of shots on the tail ends of Kumisera. Circle about to shrink in. All right, where are we going? We going Kumisera, we're going Los Leones, we're going up to Picardo way. Will we just center up? No, it's Kumisera.
That's actually quite big because... Okay, let's look at this terrain. Where Winstrike currently are, if I'm not mistaken, that kind of rolling hillside is really rough because they're great there. Obviously, they're in a really good spot, but that hill rolling off the side of it is actually really tough to move in towards because they have such good vision on it. They're going to try and compress
He goes DA.
towards the silos. It's looking like everyone's sitting in. DA, never afraid to do this. They're going to go for it now. FaZe Clan going to be putting a lot of bullets toward it. I can imagine Winstrike might do the same.
Oh,
they're both heading to the same compound. You've got Winstrike and DA both going towards this, but DA are losing out players, and Gustav's just gone down for TSM.
Yeah, Sixmo went down for DA. He was the ball of flames you saw coming in. TSM trying to come in, but they're getting shot in the back. It's third-party city. Michael's going to be able to get Rory up, but that's going to buy time for Vitality to gain control of one of these buildings, whereas meanwhile you can see the picture-in-picture. Mert has Tixu and Joski surrounding him. He's spotted out.
This is going to be huge. Look at that. The beautiful jet flies in. Doesn't have the gun out. Joski going to punish. I wouldn't want to say comfortably, but he gets the job done. Now, Iro's not far off either. Oh, no. Disaster for Joski. Clearly not having all the information as he went for that hill right in the open then.
Obviously heard the car coming. He expected he dealt with it. Didn't realize there was a second car that come alongside him.
Wait,
Nookie also going
Na'Vi
third party. Bestlot getting a little peek. Bestlot going very aggressive, pushing up to the hillside. Wants to get everything.
Oh, this compound is deadly. This hillside, they've all got kind of vision. They can do these little peeks up and over. So I'm imagining, that's a good nade too. That's stolen right in the pocket of Mert. Now, Winstrike are looking worse for wear, to say the very least. Na'Vi have a really nice complementary compound. It looked like they maybe wanted to 2-2 split that, be very greedy. Not going to get away with it, but they're in a very nice spot regardless.
Yeah, Na'Vi are holding a really nice sort of triangle position. They just moved across. Razor Edge coming close to Na'Vi though, so they need to be careful they're getting it close. Here's Rory just waiting. Hello, what the hell? Jempty just tagged him from behind down to 1 hit point. And that's the moment, the Vitality strike. And poor TSM don't know what just hit him.
The timing is devastating on that. I would be so mad if I was TSM, but it's how it goes. ENCE are working through CrowCrowd. Set still alive and holds some cover, but it looks like maybe his days are numbered. Migas did suffer in the meantime due to this, but Kemba now trying to hold the line. Tries to get a heal off the sides better. Rustamar, that nade could be very good, and yet Kemba's in danger.
Yeah, he gets caught out, has to back away. Rustamar puts him down, and Ali's set on his own, just trying to run away from this one. Squeaky out in the blue. He's also taking a bit of third-party fire. That's coming out from the circle. Of course, these guys way out on the eastern side of the circle. I have to make a move. G2 made a big rotate, by the way. They went all the way around the south and actually coming in to the top side behind M19 in Kumasera. Raise your edge, they tried to make this little move. They got a 2-2 split near Navi. You can see ENCE going on their bikes. It's Vitality. Looks like they're taking the shots on him.
Oh, this is some...
Oh, Team Liquid are about to cut them off. They're already positioning to try and cut off ENCE here.
Yeah, Liquid love a bit of this. This is good angles for them.
Oof.
They should be able to get one. If they're being careful with the Knights, they should be able to get ENCE here, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, there it is. Jeems, brilliant shot towards Rustamar. Set actually got Squeaky in that, so again, they're still trying to gain points from this. And because that circle went east side, the Knights now kind of become king of the hill. I don't think that revive's going to come out there. Truthfully, might just have to try and play, stay alive for himself and worry about his own damage coming in, because that circle moves quickly now. It's 35 seconds till it moves again, but look at Reciprocity flying in as well, just to the foot of the hill towards Team Liquid. They've heard this too. Jempty instantly gets a nade out and he prepares himself.
Going straight to that little warehouse down low. Jempty cooking it. That's going to go down to Rafi, that one will do. Not too sure if it will quite connect. It looks like it has gone a little shy. It actually caught the Murado, but doesn't get the man. Look at Ibi going on the flank here, on the left side of the hill. This is a nice flank. It's going to be him and Rafi. That could tell the difference between who comes out on top in this team fight.
I'm scared if he overexposes himself towards the Knights, and I think that's what he's realized right now. Yeah, he cannot do that. Good nade come out from Jempty that time, finding Haxetti, but Ibi needs to play a very, very careful game here, because he's just under the assumption that that side behind him is completely free of other players, and someone will get vision eventually.
FaZe have clashed in with M19, or more to the point, M19 trying to push onto FaZe Clan. That's not working out very well. It's giving the information to G2, who are just to the side of M19. They're watching this play out, so they realize, okay, that compound very much occupied. Dimash just gets himself behind the one and only little side. You can see G2. They're off on the left-hand side. The fight we were just watching is happening in the distance. Here it is. Reciprocity. That nade coming close to Rafi. Not quite catching him. He's the other side of the wall. X-Ray giving away his position. That nade bouncing off the wall. That would have caught Scoom. But look at this. The Knights taking shots on Shiv.
G2. Oh, G2 in so much trouble here. Kane and Brexco have just gone down. That was a really clean pickup. Bit of a steal there, as Dimash did catch one of them. But FaZe, and obviously the man who cannot be named currently on Twitch, I'm kidding. Going to be doing well here. Good points for them. This is a nice compound area. They're holding that side. This could be some good kills. Chris still alive there. You could have maybe Dimash coming in. This is nice for them.
It's somewhat surprised me that G2 did that, because they just saw M19 get mowed down in the exact same move. So it's really surprising that they decided to go in there and try it. Raise Your Edge trying a little step. They've tried to move up on the north side, trying to get their 2-2 split in position as the circle continues to shrink down. It's kind of centered up this time.
Yeah, and for Liquid, I'm surprised they've let Reciprocity, I don't want to say get away with this, but hold this ground for this long. Purely because, Rafi. I mean, obviously they want them gone, but they haven't done that full Liquid sweep, because more than likely they're going to have to get past this at some point. Now, they are being helped out because there's very few safe angles here. The Knights are piling in on this as well. DA's being challenged as NIP are very close by, and the Knights basically have Overwatch on all of this.
Yeah, Tab, by the way, I didn't know it's CrowCrowd actually still had 2 alive. Tab's way out in Kumasera, so massive spread. He comes in, the push catches them off guard. Really nice flex there from Team Liquid to take them down.
There it is. That's what I wanted to see, that push. As soon as they saw those knocks, get in there, get the job done. Now, Shiv is still alive. He can play a bit of a spoiler position here, but I'm sure Liquid... I don't want to say that. They should be meticulous about this.
They're obviously aware that the Knights have been taking shots, so they're going to be aware that there is a danger point, but they haven't dealt with Shiv yet, and they're going to know that they've only taken 3 out. And they're looking for that last man. Oh, Tab's down. He's in the blue. He's gone. Okay, here we go. Circle. Is he going to go onto the Knights again? It is. It's centering up. The Knights are delighted. This is the same compound they've had from Phase 1. It does leave a number of compounds in there, but of course you can see Phase should be okay. DA are going to get Na'Vi and NIP pushing on them, it seems. Razor Edge and Unity going to be sort of clashing in that north side. Vitality are safe as well in their compound, but Trifoli is going to move.
They know where Shiv is, don't they? Look at this. Oh my gosh.
They both missed, yeah.
Oh, but the problem is, the one thing that worries me is if they then go, right, we've naded it, it's fine, it's clear, and then they don't actually check that it's clear.
Yeah, they don't realize that they haven't actually hit it.
That makes me worry. Now, Set's being gate-kept a little bit by just about everyone. G2's in the similar spot. FaZe can kind of just push themselves into the circle. They're okay. That north side and the northwest is going to get very busy because DA still hold this compound. And
this is a really hard compound to hold, though. It's obviously you've got a little bit of walls, but there's obviously the breaks and the fence. And when you've got two teams pushing up on you, not just the one, but Na'Vi may well do it for you. And they're going to find Miraku. That's going to be the third member of NIP down. That nade looks like it's going to confirm it as well. So that will be Miraku gone.
And as much as they won't think about this, Na'Vi are kind of helping out DA here and kind of hindering themselves because now they have to worry about the other side that's coming down. Razor Edge are coming down here, and there's Shiv fighting Jeems. They did think the nades cleared it, and now this is what can happen. This is the problem because Shiv really can just do damage. He's going to take people with him. Na'Vi's attention is split on two fronts. They decide to go north. This is where Razor Edge currently reside. Let's see who holds on to this fight.
Razor Edge trying to push. They got Senya down, but Siggy's drop. Frolica drops. That's going to be Puka Molodoy on the flank doing the work. It's going to leave Menox the last man. He goes down at Na'Vi with a clean sweep. They just lost Senya.
Yeah, not bad. He can still in-game lead. You know what that guy's like? Oh, he's got an angle. He's got a very big angle on what looked like Idris Elba there. Sam T.
Wow.
I swear they stole that model. I'm almost certain.
I think they did.
Like,
I think they did.
It's
Luther.
Let's see if he can do some detective work here because truthfully, got a blisteringly good angle.
Well, that's Team Liquid. They did deal with the last man from Reciprocity, so he's finally been finished off. That was a dink, and that's going to force him away. He's not caught Ibi, though, in the process, so that caused a lot of problem for them. They have to deal with ENCE. Whoa, he's still got another good spray down. He spins so around. GMT now, it's going to try and catch him out. Finally, they get a couple of tags on him, and that'll be all she wrote for Trifoli. ENCE will go down as 10th place for them. Couldn't really do much else from that one.
No, you're just trying to do anything you can. It looks like Set's about to get folded on. FaZe completely control that southern side. Oof, that's very interesting. And so
shot from Stark.
Is that just like a double tap?
Yeah, that was sweet. Oh,
it's coming back, isn't it? You don't get away with much in this one. You overpeak for a second, and you're in real danger. Now, let's look at what Team Liquid do here. They still have some room to work, but not a great deal. They're being pushed out of this compound, and that's bad news. To all the teams, well, I say all the teams, Vitality and Liquid are the ones who are really going to suffer here, because FaZe can just go towards Fuzzface.
Yeah, Unity can just crush in. Both Na'Vi and DA are fine. Vard is in trouble, obviously, on his own there. FaZe will move in. Set, obviously, they're still waiting to try and see where he is. But Team Liquid, they have to make a decision, and it's been made for them as Mexi lands a couple of shots. Uber also connecting onto, I believe it was Ibiza. He managed to catch out. Yes, he did. In that little shack, the blue is now on them. That crate's just baiting them out there, isn't it? Crate bait.
Tempting. Oh, Liquid still have a vehicle at least. They have one bike
Vitality,
to just
Vitality are going for the hills. They're going towards Team Liquid. They realise, okay, they've got a vehicle back there. TL got Vitality got a vehicle. They're going to go for it. It's got to be a crash to the ditch underneath the Knights, I think. That's going to be really the only place. Kramer's trying to make the move. He's on the barn, going straight for the ditch. And I think Vitality have got there.
Yes,
they have.
No, they haven't.
Oh,
there's line of sight.
Close, so
that knock
close.
on Drayden is big, though. That's Dastish getting that, so that could
Shadow
actually open this one up. The nades are right next to Ibi. Ibi turns around. Just backhand Shadow. That's Vitality gone, but it's not without answer at this point. Everyone's got vision. Unity from the low ground going to catch off Jeems. This puts Team Liquid under the gun here.
Yeah, Unity, they got that one knock on Drayden, I think it was, and that's really been the go sign for them. And Team Liquid, you can see they're getting picked apart. That vehicle is not going to last the distance, I'm afraid. It's not the best vehicle to go pushing in. Gypsy's in, I think. He's got himself in there safe.
This nade might be enough.
Uh-oh, that nade looks good. Can't quite see it. There's a big picture-in-picture in the way. Doesn't quite get him. He's alive. The last man, though. Everybody else down.
It's actually good. Good for Gemty.
I think FaZe stole a kill there as well. I think if I am not mistaken, I saw FaZe stealing a kill away. So they've got 4 up. Navi 3, DA 3. Unity still with 4, and they've pushed right up underneath the Knights' noses, and Gemty's down.
The Knights still looking for that first win, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are.
This could be the game to do it. I mean, Navi are down to 3, DA 3. FaZe a bit dangerous, but they have to cross that road. Unity. Now, that's the big one. That's the win condition here for the Knights. If they can get past this, oh, look at FaZe and Mexi. They're making a move. If they try and get across the road now, if that engagement happens with Unity and the Knights, that's their go signal. But look how open that ground is in the top right of the screen there. Super open. So yeah, Unity can be the undoing of the Knights. If they keep 4 alive clean, then it's game on for them.
Snark with a mutant. Yeah, from range. Okay. I guess that was the hand he got dealt. We'll see how he comes out with this one.
Look at him creeping up here.
They're going for it. They're going for it, aren't they? Tizzering Dastish. They want to make the move. And Snark's mid compounds. Could have got caught out there. Didn't get squeezed in on. Where's the circle go? It goes onto that compound. It's now fight
what do Unity
for victory.
do?
They're going for the center point instead. They're backing away.
Exactly. They've decided bigger picture, which isn't a bad idea. The problem is, do the Knights have line of sight on that down the road? That could be what bites them in the butt here.
Oh, that nade was godlike.
Big. Bestaloch. Look at these
FaZe
players.
Push. FaZe have gone across.
FaZe have got across. It looks like it was Mexi and FaZe trying to make that move earlier on. This is the next challenge for the Knights. They hold the cover. This is a very, very good compound to hold from, but FaZe is right at the door.
Got straight on them. I think Reals realized he tried to, yeah, he's just underhanded a nade, try and catch Fuzz off, but he didn't catch him down. Smoke's going down from the rest of FaZe as the alarm bells are ringing for the Knights. You can see it's the cover fire. That's really nice. Smoke tick, cover fired, Mexi goes across.
Work.
So well played.
Now, the only issue for them is obviously the Knights. No one else could really get vision on that because DA was so preoccupied with Na'Vi, but a Unity are coming into third party this fight. DA, if they can stay alive long enough, Na'Vi will have to turn their attention elsewhere. That CIS battle in the north is about to kick off.
Mex has been caught out by Drain, and Fuzz has gone down to Reals. The Knights have made a push. They went outside the building and really nicely worked out for them there, and that's backfired on FaZe Clan. DA, meanwhile, you saw Mert. He had an angle on Pokemon. That nade's gone right next to him, and Mert will go down.
Yeah, this is Navi's undoing here. They're in real dangerous position. Pokemon is so open, but it's a doozy to fall to Dastish. Uber catching one, though. That's a little bit questionable from Snark there. Trying to make a mad dash for it, knowing there's still players around. Maybe feeling the trade would be quicker from Wanted, but there it is coming in from Reals. FaZe, I'm pretty sure, are now done for.
Yeah. So Bestaloch, okay, he's the last man standing. It's good that we get to watch him going for the ditch. Meanwhile, the Knights made the aggressive push out. Unity, they've gone for an aggressive push. Look at this. They've gone for the sweep. They've covered the circle. This is theirs to win.
Yeah, it really was theirs to win now, and I think they made the right choice there. That's a very good bit of decision-making under the assumption they don't whiff this, right? Like, they have the complete control of the northern side of this new circle. You have the one last standing bastion for Na'Vi, Bestaloch.
Spotted by Dastish.
I'm pretty sure he has been.
Yeah.
If he can prone down, maybe there's enough for him to stay alive, but look at a Beautiful Death. They might both be in a similar position soon, and a Beautiful Death is hearing this, probably baffled that someone's right next to him too. The Knights do have all 4 back up, so it's not completely over for them. They could still very much take on Unity. With one knock, it's game back on.
Yeah, Blaston's like the anchor point. There we go, circle shifts. The Knights still have a compound inside here, so they don't need to go too crazy, and they have angles. You can see Zanark taking a couple of shots there, and if Unity overextend a little too much, they might get their heads bitten, and well, we've seen a Beautiful Death himself causing problems for teams multiple times already in this phase. So Dastish going close, Bestaloch staying down,
That's
Beautiful
good.
Death staying down. This is a problem. Reals is the one that's been aggressive. Look at him going, looking on the top of the building.
Yeah, Dastish is basically playing keeper of the Knights. He wants to be the person who rings the alarm bells if anything, if they push out or use kind of that low roll of the hill on the southeastern side where Snark's currently waiting. Bit of a spot comes in. The Knights still have hard cover to play with. That's probably the big thing in my mind. Blaston can be a real nuisance too. Unity's positioning is good, but they have several things to worry about. They have those 2 snakes that are completely focused on them, and they have high ground vision from Reals, keeping them very much locked in.
Blaston's not in the circle, so he's going to have to move in. That's why we're seeing the wall of smoke being thrown out from Unity there to help them out. That's a good couple of shots from Reals catching on the side of Orange there. Forces him down. Dastish also took a damage, so I don't know who's managed to take a shot from him. Bestaloch is on the move, so we'll see whether he decides to creep in. A couple of smokes down. He just wants to get a little bit more central, and that's going to get him right on top. You can see Beautiful Death just the other side of that smoke, lying and staring at it.
Yeah, I'm still just keep eyes on Dastish. If he gets a kill,
Let's
then
go
the
to
Knights are in
Tizzering.
trouble. That is pretty close, actually. Yeah,
it's
there's good damage.
74
really
damage
good
from
damage.
the beast on your screen there, Bestalosh.
Okay, so here's a big thing that's coming up. Dastish is chomping at the bit. You can see him, we can see him on the map, just moving back and forth. You know he wants in on this. If he gets a kill, okay, now he's spotted. I thought there was a world in which he could have gotten away with a bit more there. And he is holding central circle. So this is the new issue for the bigger teams here. That's big, that's big. So now here's the big problem. A Beautiful Death and Bestalosh kind of going to create problems for Unity, and that's a bigger one. Not 20 Orange. They've got to move up. They have to move up now. Center point is waiting for them.
They're making the push. They see Blaston down low. They catch him. They force him to duck down, and that's going to be the push sign. They're going to go for Dastish, try and flush that kill out, confirm what they can. Orange is getting revived here by Tizerin, so this is really go time for them. If now or never, if anything. They get one down. Dastish is down as well. Blaston confirmed. That puts them down to 2 as Tizerin has to try and make that move and get to Blaston. Doesn't matter. Bleeds out. Don't forget, though, the 2 snakes could make a big difference.
And now they know there's snakes because there's 8 alive. They've got 4, and if they are on the assumption that Unity had all those players, they've seen them now in the kill feed. That's not the case. They know there's threats elsewhere, so they have to keep themselves on the swivel. It's not as easy as it felt before. A Beautiful Death might just spot the Bestalosh here, and he does. That's now, again, more information coming through. Exactly. The Knights need to be decisive, but they can't underestimate the Unity still have players.
The Unity making the move. They're coming on the hillside, but the Knights are moving in one fluid motion. This could be the first victory. Is it going to be that Tizerin gets one down, comes around the side, and that's it? The Knights have finally done it. They've broken the deadlock, and they get themselves their first victory. Granted, they were in the compound, and it went the whole way. They were in there from phase 1 onwards, but they got themselves 14 kills. They were very active